Hello everybody, I'm Interface, and in today's video I'm going to be giving my first impressions, my, initial thoughts on what's good and what's not in the new metagame here with Sepharite City. As you can see down here, we've got all the new boys down here added to the list. And while this is, I'm not going to be making this a full tier list because, well, that would take too long. I would rather not do an hour-long video, although I'll probably still end up throwing stuff in random spots, I'm just gonna try and go over what I think is good, what I think is bad, and why. Now, of course, this is the very start of the meta. This is just my first impressions. This is my opinion. I could be completely wrong about all of this. So take that with a grain of salt. This is just how I see it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, when this whole thing is said and done. So I'm just gonna jump, right into the thing everybody's thinking. Yeah, this thing's a menace. Borock in a metagame with a bunch of medals. Yeah. Click Earthquake and win. Yeah, that's basically it. Although we do got Trabantus, or what is it? My bad. Garbantus. It resists Earthquake with Trash Armor. If you do a defensive build, it does like 20%. Battering Ram can 2-hit KO. But yeah, I mean, you got this boy. You got Stratasaur, which I'm gonna go ahead and put right here at A. I'm not gonna quite put it A+. I don't know how I feel about it. It can stop Borock with a defensive build. Robust, heavy armor. Mega Chomp doesn't two-shot. If it's dark, wait, let's do a quick calc, shall we? As you can see, I have this little mini build right here, 56. Bowarium gave me the set, and I was looking at it. Did my own little tweaks since I have buffed. I have a buffed calculator because it's my own personal one. Anyway, let's look at Borock. Anyway, 200 plus 1, very brawny, Mega Chomp. This one, so actually, if you feel like it, you could bump this up just a tad bit higher, and boom. Boom, Mega Chomp is now a 4-hit KO on this particular Stratasaur. Of course, if they run Dark Essence or Power Caps, it's gonna be a 3-hit KO, but actually, hang on. Let's drop this down a little bit. 33%, 66 times what? 66 times 3 is 66 plus 66 is 132. Plus 66 is 198. Oh, wait, no, we don't need all this. Yeah, we just need that. Okay. Alright, so you just need 64. There we go. This is a 4-hit KO. So you could definitely use this to check Borock. However, you actually might want to run very sluggish here. So you can actually underspeed this thing, minimum speed. Make sure you're slower so that once you perch up, you don't actually get earthquaked and that kind of stuff. But of course, if you don't want to do that, well, that's up to you. Anyway, you could just go. I don't know. I don't know how you want to do it. Anyway, that's not important. Anyway, it can wall physical stuff like Borock. It can sort of do Tatab. It's not the safest because it's doing a lot of damage regardless. But most of the physical attackers it can take care of. But yeah, it's a nice addition. However, I do want to note. This thing, while it can switch in, you're not going to beat this thing because it could just set up in your face. So let's look at this. So that's not where I'm putting it. It's just where it landed. Shochi here. We all knew medals were coming. We all knew they would resist Shochi. However, the funny thing is, this thing is the only one with recovery out of the new batch. And yeah. So that makes me actually want to put it like up here because it's going to chip down everything. This guy gets chipped, this guy gets chipped, this guy gets chipped. chip, 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 or obliterated. You know, this actually doesn't resist it. But yeah, these all get chipped, and they don't have recovery, so that chip stays unless you got like a health amulet or something. So Shochi still might be pretty good. I mean, you still got Seer Knight who can chase it down, so you still got to be careful with that. But yeah, I'm gonna throw these all back. You know, take them off the tier list. You know, so I'm gonna have. I mean, Shochi might be B. I'm not gonna put it B+ yet. You know. What else we got? Oh, okay. Hang on. Where's the Doggo? Right here. Doggo's crazy. Yeah. Doggo's stats may look mediocre, except the speed. Speed's godly. But that ability and its coverage is insane. Chili Chomp smacks this, or easy 2-hit KO, so it can't switch in safely. Thunder Chomp obliterates that. Actually, I wanna check Hunter. The +1 Power Jaw. Thunder Chomp. 200. Brawny. Power Cuffs. Yeah, you're just obliterating this. Goodbye, Stratasaur. Goodbye. Anyway, so this thing has insane coverage, really fast, so it's harder to revenge kill. Yeah. It is weak to Yersoul priority, and the only move it can hit Yersoul with is Blaze Chomp. That's not resisted, so that's an interesting thing. Speaking of this, I want to go ahead and put him up here too. Along with Totop. I don't know if I want to put Totop A+ or I'm torn. I'm torn between A+ and A because this thing exists. You could anyway. I'm gonna explain Yersoul first. It can chase down this thing. You know, immune to Jungle Jutsu. Bushwhack is more of a problem now that the Awakening is getting buffed. I do want to note right now, the balance changes have not happened yet, so Awakening is still nerfed. The heavy armor and stuff is not buffed, in which the calculator, this calc right here, you know, with my heavy armor, this is with buffed heavy armor. This is after the buff, so want to note that. This is before the balance. We're currently in a point of time where the balance changes have not hit yet. Anyway, also I want to note with the balance changes, there was note that the Levitate update might happen, and if that were to happen, this thing would no longer wall this thing because it's not levitating. However, there's discussion about whether or not we want to implement it right now, and by we I mean I'm talking to Jamie. Jamie talked to other PvPers, or you know, there's a discussion going on whether Levitate gets added or not. Now, if you don't know about it, the Levitate mechanic would be if the model is floating off the ground, like Aviatros, Dusket, Terrafly, Gardrone, and the likes. If they're off the ground, they are immune to Earth moves. And with that update, they would remove Air's immunity and make it a resistance to Earth. And when I meant Earth moves, I meant grounded moves like Earthquake. What else is grounded? But a move like Earthquake, Aviatros, Dusket, Terrafly, Cinemoth, Gardrone, Ferroglyph, they would be immune to because they're floating. And since this model's on the ground, it's not floating, it's not immune to Earthquake after the Levitate update. So that's the main discussion point, is Borock. Is Borock going to be broken if we get if we add Levitate? But yeah, basically that's the discussion. But we're assuming with Levitate on, this is where this is, this is where this is. And if Levitate were off, well, I would probably do something like this. You know, add a row above. Call it the Big Bully. You know, Big Bully. You know, give him. Yeah, we're just gonna give him that. Boom, Big Bully. If Levitate is added, and then this would drop. But yeah, that's what would happen. Anyway. Yersoul's here. It can quick punch this. It can resist most of its moves, so it's almost fairly pretty safe. You know, Blaze Chomp. However, I would not be opposed to using a secret ability Yersoul here to lower this thing's attack and you make it easier to switch in. And this thing. Sure, you can't Oko Top right off the bat with Chase Down, but you do weaken it so Bushwhack can't 2-hit KO you, and if you do successfully chase down, it's in range of literally anything later. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, what else were we gonna talk about? Let's grab Tyrex here. I want to put him A. I don't know about A+ yet, but it's got Terrifying, it's got good melee defense, it's Metal and Earth, which means something like Zulon can't really hurt it at all. It's a Metal type, not weak to Electric, so that's fun. It's got both Metal and Earth moves, so that's good. And it also has Scapegoat and Power Focus, so basically, it turns something like this into setup fodder. And yeah, especially if they're running slow, something slow, you could still 2-hit KO it. Like, you could set up to +6 and 2-hit KO this. Yeah, so this is pretty scary. What else we got down here? Like, something passive like Florent, although I don't see Florent being used too much because this thing's got Chili Chomp. And this thing walls it because Toxic Filter. And yeah, I just don't see Florent doing anything this update, so we're going to put you down here. We're going to put Florent down there. Oh, okay, Valkyrie. Let's go over Valkyrie. Since it recently got Metal Burst, I want to put it up here in B+. I'm not going to put it in the A tier. I do think it's still very reliant, or pretty dependent on Shochi right here. What you can do here, my thought process is that Valkyrie is the only metal that cannot be fully taken advantage of by Shochi. And by that, I mean it cannot be really worn down easily, and it cannot be set up upon. It can't be set up on because it can just flash and flee out into something that can deal with it. Yeah. So that's my thing there. So Valkyrie, it's still dependent on this, but when it's there, although I can still see utility. Like if you want to meme around and put shackles on the Valkyrie, like legitimately put shackles on the Valkyrie, you could come in on this thing and use it to pivot off of into your offensive thing that doesn't want chipped. Like let's say Ikazune, by the way. This thing's a menace. It can two-shot this. It can take a hit from this. I mean, it doesn't want Mega Chomps, but like the secret ability, by the way, secret ability Ikazune, marvelous this update. You know, if you manage to come in on Thunder Chomp, you're now faster. If you, you're now faster than this. You can one-shot it. You're you know, something like Top can't come in and kill you. Vesperatu just can't come in and outspeed you. So, secret ability Ikazune looking clean. Also, normal ability Ikazune also looking clean. So, both abilities work very well this update. Between Zulong, what else uses electric moves? If you manage to come in on a Thunder Strike from Gardrone, speaking of, I want to put him here in A. Why yet? Initially, my thought process here is yes, its coverage is broken. Yes, it has, you know, very few switch-ins, but one, it's weak to priority. Two, it needs to. If we're running power cuffs to abuse it, or if you're not even power cuffs at max, it's throwing out 5 moves. If you can outplay it, I mean, but that applies to really anything. But let's just go over stuff that can potentially switch in. Range defense, Chartiki. I want to put Chartiki in A- here. It seems really good on paper. Obviously, all of this is on paper, not in practice, because, again, early meta. I'm putting Chartiki up here. Plant, or you know, it has the stuff to potentially deal with Borock. Borock likes to run very brawny. You can run stuff to outspeed it with, like, you know, nimble something. You know, either smart or clever. You can run like a more clever build and be able to come in on Gardrone here. Like nimble clever, kind of like how the Valkyrie did last update. Be able to come in on Gardrone. Let's do the calc, right? Chartiki versus Gardron. Oh, oops, I keep on spelling it like guard, but you know, they obviously didn't want to just do that. Power Cuffs. Obvious moves would be Frost Beam or Fire Breath. Right now, but without any investment, it's doing, you know, potentially just above half. So, if we want to do something like Nimble Clever, we want to, like, hang on, let's do something like this. 20, oh, okay, yeah, 20, something like this. A lot of these are just gonna, you know, the right around this area, you know. This would outspeed Borock, by the way. Like if you go 68 and then put 200 here, it's 118. I go 1 over just in case something else wants to creep it, but of course that starts the creep wars. 1 over that, 1 over that, 1 over that, all that kind of, all that jazz. But anyway, point here is, yeah, that's our speed tier. We can do that with Clever. How many TPs we have left? We have 316 left. By the way, 312 left. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so let's put Fire Breath here. You know, we want to make sure we can at least 2-shot this. Let's assume 200 HP. Let's crank this up. There. Okay, 176. All right. So if we pull up a handy dandy calculator, 500 minus 176 minus 184, we have 140 left to work with. So we can do something like this, or if you want to be more general with it, 136 back here. You're still a 3-shot, but you know, you take it slightly better this way. It's up to you how you want to do it, but you'd still be able to take 3 hits. That means you're able to come in and photosynthesis, and since you have a large pool of energy, you will be able to actually, you should be able to out heal what this does. So it's still a light check, but if you come in on a resistant move like Metal Burst or Thunder Strike, you know, it's doing a lot less, and it gives you a lot more leeway to do what you want. And then like this, you're able to 2-shot it and whatnot. So Chartiki is a nice little check to Gardron. But like, oh wait, hang on. Like Fire Breath, Life Drain, or Nature's Force, doesn't matter. Photosynthesis, and then you could either run Provoke or Barter, you know, and then you can use something like a Volcanic Ash on your chart. If you're gonna run Barter, you can run something like Volcanic Ash because it won't burn you, and then when you barter, it'll burn the thing you've traded with. Like, let's say Ursul comes in on you. You're predicting Ursul to come in. You can barter that turn, and you'll swap a Volcanic Ash onto it, and suddenly it's looking a lot less threatening. I mean, but let's assume Sharp Claws because, yeah. Slap down, but you're burnt. You have an item. Alright, let's just put an item. It's still gonna hurt a lot, honestly, but the next hit won't be able to kill you. And then you'll be able to, you know, photosynthesis up. But that's assuming Sharp Claws. If they're running Secret Ability, it's going to do even less, as you can see. And if they're really dedicating themselves, you know, just to tie with Borock, it's going to do, you know, that kind of stuff. So that the barter Chartiki seems interesting. So that's kind of, you know, my reasoning here why I want to put it in A-. You know, it seems like it can do stuff. Does have to watch out for air moves from this, and it still doesn't want to take a. Oh, wait, no, Mega Chomp obliterates it. Never mind. It still doesn't like Ikazune. Ikazune comes in on it, I guess, maybe, and energizes up. I mean, it could potentially immune to fire moves, and it resists the plant moves, and you can just energize. Yeah, Generally don't want to deal with the Ikazune. But yeah. Hey there. I see you're enjoying the video. Or maybe you're just skipping through it, I guess. But if you ever thought about ways you want to get into direct contact me, my Discord's linked in the description below. Got a nice community in there. I could do many things like, check the state of PvP, potentially contribute to the usage stats so that we can create more fun metagames as we go. You know? Should consider joining. Oh, and also I have a Twitter that's also linked in the description. Okay, back to the video. Along with that, we have Krakaloa. I'm going to put it in B+, because it's fairly passive, but it is another answer to Guard and it can also take on Hunter. So let's go back to the calc. Let's do Hunter real quick, because this thing's a menace. 200 brawny power cuffs. The thing about Hunter is that even with low energy, or what I meant to say was even with its energy pool. No, that's not what I meant to say. Even with its low attack, it can still dish out insane damage thanks to Power Jaw, buffing up all of its moves like Thunder Chomp, Blaze Chomp, Mega Chomp, Chili Chomp. And of course you can drop any one of these, or by any one of these, it's probably going to be Blaze Chomp for Sharpen, if you want. Oh wait, it's burnt, yeah. Mega Chomp can potentially Oko Chartiki, that's not fun, right? Anyway, but yeah, I can dish out a lot of damage, so let's go to Krakaloa here. Thunder Chomp is doing 46 to 54. Let's assume, but you also want to make sure you're invested for a Guard Drone. So here's the thing here. Can we get this down to a 4-hit KO? No. The answer is no. But we can. No, we can't. No, we can't. All right, so it's gonna be a 3-hit KO regardless. But we obviously don't want to take too much chip. So we'll come back to Hunter. Let's do Guard Drone. Let's do Guard Drone. Thunder Strike is really the only thing we have to worry about from it. And it's 200 smart power cuffs. Alright, so let's do Clever here. You know, I'm not going to say make it into a 4-hit KO, but get the chance under 50%, you know? So 88 there. And then what we can do with the rest of it, 200, or yeah, we can actually do 200 Clever Robust, and let's do Hunter here. 200 Ronnie, Power Jaw, or Power Cuffs, Power Jaw, Thunder Chomp. And suddenly, we're walling both of them at the same time. This also can stop Tatab, this can stop Ursel to a degree, assuming we burn it. Borock still abuses it, but it doesn't want to switch in to potentially get burnt, so that kind of stuff. So it's honestly, but the reason I'm putting it B+ is because Luminami exists. Although this meta may not be kind to it. It really may not, but I mean, it can come in against this. What was it popular against? I mean, the defensive pivot might still work. But, honestly, I'm seeing a lot. Oh, wait. Before we go to Luminami. Let's put this boy here, up here, A+. Boulder Blast, plus all these metals equals oof. It's slower than this, though. That's unfortunate. Can still catch Tatab, Boulder Blast Ikazune. It can just hurt. It can take out a chipped Borock. It can set up against this. It needs to be set up before it fights this. Guard Drone it can attempt to set up on. Chartiki it can use. And yeah. So it's looking really good with like Flabbergast, maybe not even Flabbergast this update. Mainly because I say that because Swolder against this thing, dead. Like it doesn't do anything. I'm gonna put it up in C or maybe B-, because while this hardcore stops it, I mean everything else it could still fairly function. Although it has to actually dedicate itself to melee defense to have a chance to, you know, not die to Tata Brawler Essence. Although I see Plant Essence being more useful because Ursel. Although no, never mind. Brawler Essence. You wanna shred this before it can do anything. That's kind of how you want to approach that, maybe. Or you want Plant Essence for that. I don't know. But here it's because this thing just is the absolute, you know, stop to this. Swolder can't touch Stratasaur at all. Parasitized, resisted, or double resisted. Poison, immune. Fury Stare, doesn't care. You're not going to break through that quad immunity. Unless you're running like Mega Chomp. Or quad resist and immunity is what I meant to say. Quad immunity, nice. So, but it can still function fairly decently. Although this breaks through it, never mind. I'm throwing it in C+. Ikazune breaks it, Ferroglyph can break it. After it's chipped at least. Top could potentially, I mean, it's iffy on this. If you're chipped, Top breaks you. This breaks you, this breaks you, this stops you. You could stop Ursel and Vesperatu. Speaking of Vesperatu, because this is so good, I could see Vesperatu being useful here. Maybe not like up here useful. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about that one with Swolder. I mean, Swolder being so... I might throw it in A+. Either A or A+. For now, I'm going to drop it in A. Depends on how I feel about Eclipse. We'll get to that in a second. Although this video is already almost half an hour. Jeez, this video is going to be forever. Vesperatu. Slapdown's good. You know. Yeah. This thing can check this. Can beat this. You could try defensive variant against this. You could probably still. Let's see. Let's see. Tyrex versus Vesperatu. Assume -1 from Terrifying. Let's slap down. Sharp Claws. Oh god, that's doing nothing. Yeah, never mind. That's not doing anything. Health Amulet. Oh, never mind. Hang on, let me reference something real quick. Where's it at? There it is. All right, I'm looking at a set that was given to me. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So what you would want to do at this point? Oh wait, wrong thing. There we go. Oh geez. Take it down. How much is this? 43. That has 44. Boom. You'd have to do this. With your defensive Vesperatu if you wanted to take out a scapegoat with their item. Although that becomes harder to do after their item's gone. So yeah, let's actually check. 200, very brawny, Earthquake. Oh well, I haven't actually made this a thing yet now, have I? Robust. Also, pardon the noise outside. I know, it's annoying, whatever. 200. 200. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know about defensive Vesperatu. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real. But yeah, it could still slap down. You know, it's got a good speed tier. It's obviously not as fast as like Ferroglyph or Tatab. Although if it's the Ferroglyph is smart and you're nimble, you can outspeed it. But it can slap the drone for good damage. I mean, slapdown is still going to do insane damage against anything that doesn't resist it. So yeah. It'll still be good, for sure. I don't know if it's A+ or not. The dog can just come in. I mean, Shadow Sprint actually should chunk it pretty hard, right? So let's look at this. Let's get rid of -1. Let's give you 200 and make you brawny. Shadow Sprint versus Hunter. Let's just assume like 48 HP. Shadow Sprint is 25%. Okay, yeah, that like if Hunter gets chipped down, you know, at a quarter of its health, it's going to die to this. Although, let's get rid of this. You know, maybe like 144 or something. I don't know. I don't know the actual health or whatever. But let's give it Blaze Chomp for now. Look at this damage now, and after you train it, Ronnie, Power Cuffs. Our jaw. Suddenly we're up to 70%. Jeez. And then let's give it Dark Essence, you know. Slapdown. I mean, Slapdown into Shadow Sprint has a good chance of killing. So if you really want to take a hit from it, I guess you can. Although, while I see a lot of people using Blaze Chomp, I also see, you know, just Thunder Chomp, Chili Chomp, Mega Chomp, in which case, you know, you actually fare pretty well. If it's like Sharpen plus that stuff, yeah, you actually fare pretty well. But if it's Blaze Chomp, you know, oof. But yeah, Vesperatu pretty good. I don't know about A+ though. Moving on to Clips. I mean, being immune to Vesperatu, being immune to Slapdown, being immune to Flash and Flee, pretty good in my opinion. But I don't know how I feel about it this update. I mean, this abuses it. This is pretty bulky, so it doesn't really care too much. This doesn't really care so much. Yeah, I mean, even this, like, if it comes in on a Gluminous, it won't care too much. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna throw it into B+ for now. It might still, like, I can still see it being good, but with all of this up here, like, let's say, no, let's not replace this. Like, to Clips versus this. Oh, I mean, actually, let's see, Luminous, 200, Smart, Light Essence. Let's assume you're just going full Luminous. I mean, I guess you'd still have to eat something, you know, you'd still have to eat a Thunder Chomp, you know, it would hurt. But I mean, being immune to this is always fun. Your Soul is still a solid matchup, but if there's a Valkyrie, that's rough. Also, let's handle this. I'm gonna put this in B. I'm not gonna put it any higher than B, but I could still see utility out of it. 1, it could come in on Gluminous for Eclipse. 2, it can one-shot Eclipse. 3, it can outspeed Eclipse. And same thing can be said for Vesperatu, by the way. It can outspeed, resist, and one-shot it all at once. Ikazune has to be careful, because if it gets chipped at all, even a 0 attack Garbantus can one-shot it with Clay Slap. I'm pretty sure it can eat 1 hit from Hunter, although you don't want to do it. But let's see, Garbantus. If you're at full health, assume 200 robust, Trash Armor. Chili Chomp. Ooh, it's like, I don't know what I was. Oh wait. There we go. Oh, okay. You can live one if you're at full health. And then what's Clay Slap do? What's Clay Slap doing? Nothing. I mean, and by nothing I mean 2-shot, because after the next hit, you're outspeeding, because -1 speed. Let's do 200 nimble. You know, even with 0 speed, you're outspeeding that. So yeah. Let's see Battering Ram, by the way. I'm kind of curious. Okay, yeah, it's not a good chance of that happening, but you know, it could still happen. Battering Ram is interesting. Like you know how I used Vesperatu to pivot into Shochi after through Valkyrie? You could do that with Garbantus here. You can also utilize like Poison, Provoke here. It's got things to punish the switch-ins, except the biggest issue is that This thing right here walls it completely. Can't be poison, or you can't use poison on it. Quad resist, battering ram, immune to clay slap. Provoke doesn't really matter. It'll just air blade you down. So yeah, that thing hard counters it. I still put it better than Swolder because it can apply more pressure than Swolder. Clay Slap can punish switch-ins, like faster attempts at switching in by lowering their speed, and when you go into something else, they're more threatened by it. And Battering Ram is stronger than Parasitize from this thing. Along with Provoke, making things unable to try and set up in something's fate. Like upon switching in, they can't set up. Like let's say this thing comes in against Garbantus trying to eat the Battering Ram. You could Provoke, prevent the Scapegoat and Power Focus altogether, and you can actually beat this 1v1. Like you actually beat this 1v1 because of Trash Armor being helpful. It's also an interesting tech against Boar. I mean, Raging Tackle will be a 3-shot, but if you come in against Earthquake, you take like not too much. Let me show you Borock. 200 plus 1, very brawny. Earthquake. 16 to 20. And if you're Earth Essence, it's a 20 to 24. So that's interesting. And a lot still run Tender. So, yeah, Battering Ram is doing a solid chunk. Anyway, yeah, so I think it has a solid place. I just think it's, kind of dependent and, still not amazing. Because, everything from the new update resists it, and, yeah. I mean, Clay Slap is cool and all, but it doesn't have Earthquake. So I see you guys are watching the video, right? Yeah? Yeah? Have you liked it yet? Because, like, if you enjoy the content, why not tell the content creator that you do like it? Gives them the feedback that they need to improve their channels. And if you want to see more of my stuff, you can always just subscribe, turn on notifications. That's always fun. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Please do it, please. All right, I had to cut that video, or not, some of it, because I was ranting on about Garbantus, and I forgot to change back to the, damage calculator. So, anyway, so yeah, you already heard everything I said about Garbantus. Anyway, so moving on, I want to put Eliguana in A-. It's got decent matchups around the board. It can what was I gonna say? It could come into this, threaten it with electric moves. It could threaten the metal types with a bunch of electric moves, but this thing destroys it. It destroys this. It could destroy this very well. Chartiki can beat it because it resists a Thunder Strike, and yeah. It can check this pretty well. It can tase this. Other than that, I don't know what else it does. It can tase this, unless it's secret ability, then it's not that great. But it loses to this, or it loses to 100 Borock, but it could pivot out if they try and come in, I guess. So it seems pretty decent, but, not good enough for up here. I might move it down even, based off of everything I've been saying. But up next we have Zulong. Mainly because Ancient Roar spam is going to be able to be viable after the Ancient Roar buff and Energy Orb buff. Tyrex is not going to run Staunch, and Himber, I'll get to that in a second, but pair it up with a good Elemental Burst for this. Can chip, or, it's a good revenge killer is what I should say here. It's good at revenge killing, can take out Stratasaur, so that's always good. Can take out your soul, all that jazz. It's still a good revenge killer, and it can still be an annoying pivot. Or by still, I mean it can be an annoying pivot with the cheap Ancient Roar coming into the game. Anyway, let's talk about Himber. I'm going to put it in B because while you might run Staunch just to stop Zulong, but I don't know how popular Zulong's going to be. But it's kind of like these guys. If it can get in, it could do work, but it's hard to kind of get in versus the current meta. And yeah, like all the stuff that it can beat, or most of the stuff that it can beat, they can beat back. Like Ikazune, you can't switch into it because Fire Breath. You can't. Or, you lose to Tatab. The metal makes this life hard. You lose to this. You lose to this. You lose to this. all that jazz. Oh, also, Valkyrie is also added to the list of things you can't switch into because Metal Burst, or Metal Blast, my bad. Metal Blast can shred it. So yeah, it's hard to get in. And then, of course, Icicle Trap with Ikazune and going to be so good, and then potentially Krakaloa, and then if you run Gust on your Stratasaur, it's just not... I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I would put it lower, but I know a bunch of people would yell at me. So there we go. Obsidian, I'm gonna throw out A-. It could still it could still stop Borock. It could beat Hunter despite it being a metal type, because don't use Hunter as a metal type hitter. It's got 94 attack and none of its metal moves are buffed up by Power Jaw, so you're better off using this as a metal type attacker. Abuse the jaw. Abuse the jaw. Abuse the jaw. So yeah, it can, you know, wall these three pretty well, pretty darn well, and it can stop Ursul to an extent, or it can stop Ursul and Vesperatu as well. So pretty much all the physical people that are going to be popular, you could take on with Obsidian, pretty much. You don't want to do a ranged defensive one in this metagame because Valkyrie doesn't care, this doesn't care, or Stratasaur doesn't care, Zulong doesn't care. I mean, you stop Ferroglyph a bit better. Guardrone doesn't care. I mean, you could change, like, maybe some one-hit KO. I haven't done any counts with it, but you might. All these guys will be able to 2-hit KO. Maybe not this, but it can Metal Shriek you if they're carrying that, and break you down that way. You don't want to try and wall this guy. This thing will blow through you. It can terrify you and then set up on you. So it can stop these guys fairly well, but it's gotta watch out for the ranged attackers. So I'm putting in A- for now. You know what? Hang on. It's been too long. It's been. We need to add a new row. Add a row below. You know. Oof. Oh no. Too many O's. There we go. There we go. You know, change. There you go. Still walled by Feevine. Moving on. Let's do Seer Knight. Seer Knight. It's hard. You're probably gonna want to do a physically defensive one. With your terrifying, with rapid fire getting buffed, you can, you know, start trying to burn the switch-ins. You know, get some chip damage that way. I'm gonna put it in B+ though. I mean, even with Slapdown, like, it's pretty much... I don't see an offensive Seer Knight working because, well, there's just, like, this thing, even at -1, if you're not physically defensive, will two-shot you. Let's take a look at it. Let's see, Hunter, -1, Thunder Chomp, Power Jaw, Power Cups, 200, Brawny, Seer Knight. If you're offensive, I get. Oh, never mind. You might. If you're offensive but with 200 HP, you might be able. Yeah. I guess. But what are you doing back? You know, you're Searing Steel. Great. You're coming in to take about 50% of your health, and you could try and Flaming Kick it. I mean, I guess Flaming Kick. You know. 200 Brawny, you know, not kill it. But yeah, I just don't see it trying to stop Hunter at all. So yeah, that's my thing. So, I mean, it could stop Vesperatu pretty hard. That's pretty cool. It's probably going to lose to Chartiki, let's be real. It has recovery. Slapdown's not going to do much the second hit. And I mean, it could beat Stratasaur, maybe. No, actually, no, it wouldn't beat Stratasaur unless it was offensive. Unless it were offensive, I don't think it would beat Stratasaur. It could still lose to Tautab. Ursul's like, why are you? I don't know. Eliguana's iffy. You don't want to take a Thunderstrike. You don't want to take a Thunderstrike from this. So I'm going to put it in B+, because it looks like it can do stuff. I mean, it can trap Shochi. It can still trap Shochi, I guess, if you do a ranged defensive one with chase down, but with more melee attack so that you can actually kill it, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in B+. It on paper it looks solid, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Luminami, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it could stop Obsidragon. I mean, a lot of the things that can hit Obsidragon can't switch into it very well, so I guess Luminami is good for that. Like, Valkyrie can beat it down, doesn't want to switch to it. Eclipse can still beat it down, so that's a thing. Stratasaur actually could switch into it. This can't switch into it. Zulon can't switch in. Yeah, like I said, Valkyrie can't. Knight can't. So I could still see some utility for Luminami, but just all this stuff up here, besides like this, just looks so threatening. Like Mega Chomp, Thunder Chomp, Bushwhack, Thunderstrike, Dark Surge, Dark Surge, Slapdown, Thunderstrike. You could set up on this. Life Drain, Nature's Force, Thunderstrike, Energize, Thunderstrike, Shenanigans, Thunderstrike. It just doesn't look like it can get in versus what looks to be good. Also, I want to throw this up here. I'm gonna throw it in A. I'm gonna throw this in A. You could use this as a bulk, like very clever. Yeah, answer this very well. Sharpen and beat down. Like, yeah, very clever. Heavy Shield can actually take 2 Frost Beams from this, so it could switch in on it. It might not want to take a second one because it doesn't have that much energy, and Heavy Shield increases the energy cost. So I don't know about that, but it could still abuse this. It can threaten this. It can take this on. It doesn't want to take a Chili Chop. I'm gonna be real with you. Very clever, can wall Ferroglyph and chase it down potentially if you run that. So I see it doing a lot. Being walling this. Yeah, it definitely has utility here. The Earth type. These two are okay. Well, whatever. But these two look like they're gonna put in work. Luminami I'm gonna have down here for now. I just on paper it doesn't look like it's gonna do that much. Like, I know it can take a hit, like a hit from this. I just don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna leave it down here though. I don't really. Let's do the new roam. I'm gonna at least cover all the new stuff because yeah. This I'm gonna put it in B. Paired with the right stuff and with the right support and you chip down the team enough, you could actually put in work with this. But I mean, because it's really fast and Analyze is a good ability. But, like, it can abuse Obsidragon, get a free ranged attack boost off of that. You could get a ranged attack boost off of Vesperatu and you don't die to Shadow Sprint, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't see any. This is gonna run more range bulk. Yeah. You might be able to get one off of Seer Knight, but who cares? You can't hit it very hard. But yeah, so it can abuse Vesperatu and Obsidragon very well. Those seem like they'll still be popular. So, oh yeah, you get a range attack boost off of Top too. But so if that's chipped down, you could actually take it out. So under the right circumstances, this can work, but it's not like immediately good. It requires also gets one off of Borock. So I might put it B+, B+. It's hard. It's kind of hard to get in. Might leave it in B. Maybe B+. BP+ is where I'd put it. I'm gonna leave it in B for now. This one, not that great. Rev Up is cool, but I mean, offensively, it's got what? Mega Chomp, Double Whack, and Quick Punch. I mean, it can't come in versus these two at all. I mean, at +1, it can outspeed this. And depending on your set, you might be able to outspeed this too. but it's too clunky in my opinion. It's too clunky. So I'm gonna put it in B minus. It could still it would be able to do stuff if it could get going, or maybe if it had like offensive setup. But for now, I'm gonna put it down here. It just there's just better stuff right now. I will say it's a better metal type attacker than Hunter, so that's cool. And then Diborg, I honestly don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna put it down here too. It's just weak to so much. Doesn't even resist bind, so that's interesting. So Shochi can have fun with it. Speaking of, it has handy and hypnotize, and after the balance changes, Shochi's immune to it. Ferroglyph's immune to it. So, it's got. Although there is talk about giving it barter, and you know that I'd push it up to like B area. It's just hard to get in with its typing, like weak to this, weak to this, weak to. If it runs Mud's Batter, it can obliterate it, but Jungle Jutsu is still neutral. I mean, it's better than being weak, but can't switch in, can't switch in, can't switch in. Actually, can switch into this, but it can't poison it. I mean, offensively, you're probably going to be using its toxic moves. It's immune. This is immune to it, so this doesn't care about you. You might. I don't know about this one. I feel like this still wins. This beats you. This beats you. I mean, you could put it to sleep, but this still beats you. This beats you. This beats you. You might be able to beat this. You probably beat this. This beats you. Iffy, depends if you can get it to sleep. This will probably beat you. You can actually beat this. I mean, yeah, you might be able to beat Luminami. Luminami might be your ticket in, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. The rest of these guys, I mean, Umbrat I could see as another secondary check to like this, and also being able to hit Eclipse. You know, if they have Eclipse and they don't, and your Vesperatu can't hit it, I mean, you'll be able to hit Eclipse, so that's cool. So what? C plus, B minus. I'll put it B minus, C plus. I'd see it be able to do more than Swolder and Terrafly. That's for sure. Being able to check Shochi, Ferroglyph. You know, if this is defensive thing, it'd be faster than it, so I could, you know, check that. That kind of stuff. Eruptodon, actually, I'm gonna throw up here. It could put in a ton of work if these two are not present. If these two are not present, this thing can go in. Actually, I'm gonna put it in A minus because I don't know. No, I'm gonna keep it B plus for now. For now, I'll keep it B plus just because these two might still be common. But this could put in a ton of work if these two aren't present. Volcaloa is still kind of bad. Not as bad because there's stuff it can actually hit. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it as bad because all the stuff it can hit, other stuff can hit them better. Buff to press is cool, but spreading poison's hard with the Stratasaur, and Tase is hard to spread when this is probably going to be on a lot of teams. This is going to be common. Other Eliguanas, Ikazune. I just don't see, like, buff to press is cool, but I don't see the status being able to spread very well. So it seems inconsistent. I might put it B. Somewhere B minus, somewhere right here. I'll put it in B. Avitross, I'll put it in B. Loses to this pretty hard. Can lose to this. Loses to this. Loses. It doesn't like this. Yeah. And if Himper's there, it doesn't do anything. I might put it B minus, to be honest. TBH. Somewhere around here. And the rest of them, I guess people probably want to talk about Revenine. I put it in B minus, somewhere around there. Revenge Killing's cool, but completely relying on it is not. And then Ragoon's just going to be a gimmick. It's going to be a gimmick, and as of right now, you cannot use Chase Down and take their ability as they're switching, so that actually makes me want to put it down here. Yeah, I'll put it down here. And then, oh wait, Trumbull. Still good. Still good. This could beat it, but this is still good. Although more ranged attackers existing, I don't know. Hard to get in, but if you do get it, like, just pivot it in, and it probably does work. And the rest, I don't need to talk about. They're not going to do much this update at all. So that's pretty much it. Those are my early thoughts. Borock is crazy. These guys are cool. Borock is crazy. These guys are good. Are really good. Really are good. So the meta, I don't know. I feel like, you know, offense definitely improved compared to before. I will say that. Offense is definitely better than before. Stall looks like it definitely still works, but it's definitely not as degenerate or as, you know, awful to play against as it was before. Yeah, I could see this being annoying, really annoying. It's very bulky, and it could definitely run like clever sets to eat some ranged hits and stuff. But these are my early thoughts. I don't really care about these guys. These guys aren't going to do too much. They'd be down here. They'd be somewhere down here. Mewtwo, either B minus C. I'd put it C plus. Icicle just doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'd put it in C. Wiki C minus. Faster than Tatab, I guess, so I'd put it in C. Yeah, there you go. There's my full tier list. There you go. That's my early opinions on everything. So again, let me know what you agree with, what you don't disagree with. Tell me what you think about, you know, what you think about the viability of some stuff. You know, just let me know in the comments below. Yeah, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see y'all in another video. See ya.